All right, YouTube. Today, we're purging some books. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linnea, and yeah, today we're getting rid of some books. I've got about 40 books here that I've pulled off my shelves. I know in YouTube standards that might not seem a lot, but it's starting to stress me out. So some of these I know I want to read, but others I'm not so sure. So I'm going through all of them, and we're doing it in rounds. Full-on TBR elimination. First, I'll go over them all quickly. Instant yes or maybe. Then, for round 2, I'll take a closer look at each book, maybe talk it over a little bit, and finally, I'll go through them one last time, round 3, to see what stays and what goes. What makes the final cut? Let the elimination process begin! All right, round 1.
I'll shove these to the side and we'll make a couple of piles.
Let's start here. We got a book here about executioners, life, death, shame in Sweden around 1600. That's a maybe. I got some kind of, the art of being a woman. It's been on my shelf forever. That's a maybe. Robin Hobb. I tried to read this years and years ago, but I'm going to give it another shot. That's a yes. What is this? That's a maybe. Book Swords Part 2. I read the first one, didn't like it. That's a maybe. Also a maybe. Into the Grey Zone. I have to look this up a bit, so that's a maybe. Joe Abercrombie, The Blade Itself. I really want to get to this, so yes. The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James. This is also a yes. Under the Whispering Door. I've yet to read a TJ Klune, so that's a yes. I don't really know what this is. Yeah, maybe. Quick rounds, Linnea. Quick rounds. Swoop! This is Just Kids by Patti Smith. This was a gift, but I want to check it over if I really want to read it. This is Mrs. England. I bought this year, so this has to stay at least for a little while longer. This is Svavelvinter. It's a Swedish fantasy. Maybe. Book about Vikings. Maybe. Book about having children in the 1930s. That's a maybe. One Summer in Brighton. I borrowed this from my mom. I don't really like these kind of books. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. And The Book Thief. We're gonna talk about this. It's a maybe. Wow, that's a lot of maybes. Moving on to the next pile. Mistborn series. Yes. History of Bees or something. I have to look the English title up. That's a maybe. Dangerous. This is like a political commentary about if not we, then who. That's a maybe. It's been there forever. I have to check what this really is about because it's been on my shelf forever. So that's a maybe. This, I just want to look into it a little bit more and give you the English title. So I'll put it in the maybe. Also maybe. Also a Swedish book. This I also have to look up a bit. That's a maybe. This is also a maybe. Okay, last pile. First up, a Swedish classic. I saw a musical based on this book. I bought it secondhand. It smelled so much like cigarette smoke that I haven't been able to read it, but getting better. So that's a yes. The Light We Cannot See. I'm not sure. It's a maybe. Tales of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. That's a yes. And just look at it. Oh. This was also a gift from my mom. It's Women on the Verge of Breakthrough. It's a non-fiction and it was a gift, so I'll keep it. Here we have a middle grade, Ninja Timmy, and I want to read it to see if my brother's kids will like it. So that's a yes. Elena Ferrante. It's a famous my friend kind of thing. I'm not sure if I want to read this. Here we have the third Pippi Longstocking where she goes out to sea. Of course I'm keeping that. It's for my Astrid Lindgren collection, and so are these. This is Scarecrow Island that I've talked about on this channel. This is Carlson on the Roof. A boy meets a man who lives on the roof and flies with a propeller on his back. And then we have this one. This is the first book that Astrid Lindgren wrote. So all of those are going in the yes pile. Now we're talking. This seems a little bit more even. Yeah, so let's just move those aside a bit. We're keeping all of this. This is solid yeses. You know what it's time for? It's time for round 2. All right, round 2. Here they are. I also got my computer here on the side so that I can look at the titles for you and check out a little bit more what they are about. Okay, so this is History of Bees by Maja Lunde. We have a generational story here. 3 generations of beekeepers and their relationship with bees, the global climate crisis, and the threat to bees. It feels like an important book, but there's a couple of books here. They live in the same category of how I used to think about my reading as more of a, this is what I intellectually should be into. And then I bought a lot of those books, but I never really read a lot of them. But this could still really be an interesting read, and I could at least try it out. I'll put it in the maybes for now, and we'll see how I feel about it later on. This is Educated by Tara Westover. Okay, so this was very popular a couple of years ago, and I bought it then, and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. It's in the same category as the other book, but when I read about it now as well, it feels really intriguing. It's about a woman who, she talks about her own experience in this book, and she flees her radical father, and it's supposed to be a story about how valuable education can be, or is, and how it can give you a whole new life. So I'm going to say yes on this. I'm also considering giving myself a time limit on some of these, like if I haven't read them in a year or so, I have to get rid of them. Next up, we have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, maybe, yeah. Also a very popular book, same category again. I have bought a certain amount of World War II books over the years, thinking that, again, this is something that I intellectually will be into, but is this one of those that I should give myself a time limit on? If it is, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna keep it in the maybe pile for now, and even if I purge it now, I'll still keep it for a while, and you can let me know if and why I should read it. This is kind of someone dies and there's an inheritance, and all this stuff comes spewing out about the relationships between family members that are a bit fragile or destructive, or who loved whom the most, and you know, things like that. And we had a bit of this in my life when I was younger, and I'm not sure that this book is for me. I think that's what I was drawn to it from the beginning, because again, I thought I intellectually wanted to read about all the stuff that I went through, but I can read that in a fantasy with a lot more distance. So it doesn't have to be as real. A Summer in Brighton, if I'm translating that directly, by Lucy Diamond. This is not my sort of book usually. My mom wanted me to read it and she left it here. Nah. This next book is not available in English from what I can gather. The direct translation is To Have a Baby, and it's by Kristina Sandberg. She's gotten accidentally pregnant. She seems to now be living with the man that she got pregnant with. She decides to be like a good mother and wife and hostess and become this great woman. But even though she tries, there's always this uncertainty and a complicated relationship, it seems, with both motherhood and here's something about alcoholism and a marriage that just happened to be. And it takes place in the 1930s. This is one of those books that I never DNF books, but maybe I should a little bit more, because maybe some of these would have at least been tried. I'm so determined all the time that I should finish books, but because I like finishing books I don't like as well, but sometimes maybe I could just try a chapter or two and see if this is for me, and if it's not, I can just, let it move on. I'll put it in the maybe for now. I couldn't find an English version of this either. It's the 1,000-year-old kingdom, sort of, and it's the first in a series. It starts in the year 937. I'm pretty sure it's a Viking tale. I want to test this out. It's a yes. This is a Swedish fantasy, as I said before. I was really excited for this, and then I heard that it wasn't that good. So I just felt, I want to just read a little bit from it before I part with it, just to see. And this is Just Kids by Patti Smith. Takes place in New York during 60s and 70s. It reminds me of a Swedish documentary from this time that they filmed in Stockholm. It was a gift, so I want to try it out, so that's a yes. Okay, so what is this? I have to check out properly what this is. I got this from my mom for Christmas, I think last year or something. It has an adventurous orc, so that could be something. They're gonna rid the world of an evil force. Oh, a bookmark. Hey! That is something in the book's favor. She writes here that she wanted to write a funny fantasy novel, so that's what she did. That, to me, can sometimes be a bit... yeah. I'll try it. It's a gift. Okay, so into the gray zone. So when I worked at a bookstore, sometimes there was books that were gonna be shipped out and they marked them and you could take them home. So I took a lot of books home that I don't know if I want to read. This is something about finding a new realm of consciousness between life and death, which is called the gray zone. I'm gonna look this up. So the internet says that this is worth my time. Can I trust the internet? Who knows? This is We're Still Alive at Every Moment by Tom Malmquist. I bought this on sale, that's why it's here. It's about grief, at least. Maybe. Come here. You. So many books. Okay, this is also a maybe. This, I don't even know what this is. This is also one of those books that I just took from work, legally. Who's the author? John Neven. Okay, so the back of this sounds intriguing. Like he gives money to a homeless person and it turns out to be his closest friends, or at least he was many years ago, like 20 years ago. And what do? You take him home for a meal. For him, there's no question. He himself is very successful. Good job, happy marriage, lovely kids, big grand house. And that is something that his friend as well, of course, he wants to have that too. And he wants that for his friend, but does he want that even if that means his friend is taking that from him? Now when I'm saying it out loud, yeah. It says here that this book, I think it's The Art of Being a Woman, is a memoir and a feministic manifest. I got this from my mom. She thinks I should read it. Maybe I should try it. This is, as I said, about executioners. I want to read it. The direct translation is The Lesbian Gang, and I do want to read this. Like, sometimes I really feel that I want to, but I have too many books going on, and then when I have no books, I pick this up and I don't feel like it. Read it. Also, from my mom, gift, very short book, read it. So this is Stolen by Anna Helene Lastadius. And this is about a Sami girl's coming of age story. It's about family and identity and growing up as part of the Scandinavian indigenous people, making their living herding reindeers. And this is absolutely something that I want to read. Hey! Ooh, I need to get rid of something as well. Should I... Did I go overboard with the yeses? I think I should do what I said before. I should pick some of these yeses out and put a time limit on them. Yes, that's what I'll do. Oops, camera might have shifted a little bit. I ran out of space on my phone, so I went up, deleted some stuff, got some fika, and came back. So the last books that I had were these ones. A System So Magnificent It Is Blinding. I decided that this might not be for me. Moving on. That was really popular when it came out in Sweden, and I bought it, and yeah. This I borrowed from my mom. I'm gonna give it back to her. If I want to read it, I can borrow it again. Well, like, she left it here for me to read. This was the political one. I want to give this a try. Same with The Light We Cannot See. As I've mentioned, I am going to put a time limit on some of these books, because I feel like I'm not going to purge enough books. I should have had someone here who could like help me accountable a bit more, I'm thinking. But I've got a new energy now from my little fika to begin round 3. Is there any of these books? I mean, this one, no, it will go. This one, I read the first book. I really wanted to like these. It's like fantasy novellas, but I just didn't. This, I read the first page now, and I don't think that this writing style is for me, actually. It's a very pretty book. I think that is one of the reasons that it stayed so long on my shelf. This one, I might be one of those that I'm actually going to give myself a time limit for. And then you guys can come back in a year or so and hold me accountable then. This I'm gonna give back to my mom, same as this. This is probably nothing that I'm going to read. Same with this, Too Close to Home, and The Book Thief. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Should I try this book and put a time limit on it, or should I just let it go? This one I'm actually going to put a time limit on, The History of Bees. It's something that I want to like. Which ones do we have time limits for? Okay, so History of Bees. These ones will probably be fine. This might need a time limit, and this as well. I think that time limit is a good thing, because, I mean, it's starting to pile up. If I don't read them, then I'll know which ones I didn't prioritize. Time limit, that can stay there, and time limit. Okay, so, Okay, so give me a second and I will pile these up. So here we have it. So these are the ones I'm keeping. As they are, no time limit, nothing, just these are the books I want to keep. Here we have the time limit ones that you guys can help me stay accountable for. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. And I should give myself a year. If I haven't read them at the end of August next year, these are going. These are the ones that I'm getting rid of. Maybe not the Book Thief if you guys convince me otherwise. Let me also know if there's anything that I've purged or that I have in my time limit pile that you think that I should really read or think twice about, you know, maybe putting it in another pile. So there we have it. Oh my God. Whew. Yeah, wait, I'm gonna have to. Oh, that feels a little bit better. Now I just have to put all of these back on the shelf and I don't know, starting putting these out for sale. But I did it. We did it. I made some decisions. It's not, I know the purging pile is not that high, as high as it could be, but I knew there were a lot of books that I really wanted to read, like all of these ones here I'm not getting rid of, I just haven't read yet. And then there was some that I was a little bit less sure about. I think this is gonna be a good thing. They're staying together, so I know I won't forget, I promise. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, doing all of this. If you like this, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.